Good afternoon. Sometimes, no matter what's on your to-do list, no matter how many things you have going on, you just have to go for a walk. It was beautiful out. I just came out of a coffee meeting, and look where I'm at. This place is gorgeous. This is the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail. And it's funny because this specific bike path I have a lot of history with. This was the same bike path that, after my initial divorce back in 2010, this was the same rail trail, the same path where I would, in my tiny little one-bedroom, 400 square foot condo, I would wake up, throw on my sneakers, put on a workout gear, and just run. Just run for 3 or 4 or 5 miles, and not even knowing why I was running, right? Just to kind of move that energy, and also a way to get out of my 400 square foot apartment condo, which I actually really loved. And that was like such a benchmark for me, like such the beginning of a new life. And that my heart was broken, and at the same time, I just remember knowing that it was the beginning of something else. Right? Like it's the ending of one thing and the beginning of something else. And this specific bike path is what I used to help me in that transition, to help me rebirth and know who it is that I was. And that's when I got into the best shape of my life. I started doing the Spartan races and those Tough Mudders and all the things. And it was a beautiful transition. So it's funny, as I just came out of this coffee meeting and I'm on the same rail trail, I'm just like thinking to myself, like, I am now 25 times the man that I was when I was going out and doing all those things and doing those runs. And like, I didn't even know back then what the purpose of meditation was, or the purpose of journaling, or the purpose of like truly working on myself, not just mindset and getting your mind right. Because that's like 1% of what it is to actually like change who I had to become, right? Becoming the man, the leader, the parent, the partner, all the things that I had to become. I had to go through so much in order to reawaken, to remember who it is that I was supposed to be, and to remember that we're just constantly going through this phase of expansion and learning and growth. So it's just beautiful here. That first phase when I was becoming the best version of me physically after my first divorce, and then what ultimately came next, right, is like the next version of me, which is I was going into my career and business and like doing and grinding and shut up and doing it and having massive success and massive setbacks, right, in my real estate business. And I just remember like also running on this same path back in like 2012, 2013. And just thinking, like, processing all of the deals and all of the rehabs we had going on and the rentals and like how close we were to certain benchmarks and new hires and they're working out, not working out. Like this was like my place. This was like my place to kind of work through a lot of things. And again, just seeing the contrast, the dichotomy of me thinking that I had stuff figured out right after I got into the best shape of my life, and then me thinking I had stuff figured out as I started to push and exceed all of these financial benchmarks in my career in real estate, and then thinking I had things all figured out when I got all the check boxes and I had the house and the new wife, and then I had the kids, and all to come to realize who it is that I needed to become to be here right now. And knowing that maybe I'll be here again in a year and a half or 2 years saying, remember that guy doing that little talk, that video? And he thought he had like traversed the 25 versions of himself to be here now. Wow. If only he knew who he could become, which is what I'm committed to in my growth and my expansion and in my journey. So question is like, do you have a place? Do you have like a beautiful spot in your life where this was like a moment for you, a moment of like transition, transformation, expansion and growth. And look at the contrast from like back then until now. Who have you become in those moments? Who have you become? How have you transformed? And look at the contrast between who it is that you were versus who you are now. What are you capable of? What problems can you now solve? What problems did you think were problems before, but they weren't actually problems to the version of you who it is now? What resources do you have available now that you didn't before? It's pretty cool, isn't it, life? And we're just here, blink of an eye. So make sure you enjoy it. Make sure you're not just out grinding, you're not just out doing and achieving and targeting. Remember just to be. Remember to enjoy the gifts that were given to you just by even being born. Enjoy the day, friends.